What's up, guys? I'm back doing a little more cooking on the Blackstone E-Series electric griddle. I was a little hesitant. I'm basically going to be making some grilled cheese sandwiches, and I've already made them in another video. I'm sure some of you already make grilled cheese this way, but if you don't, I wanted to show you another way you can make them. Plus, I have a new tool that I wanted to show you. The only difference between the grilled cheese that I'm going to make today and the ones that I made before is I'm actually going to put bacon in between the slices of cheese on the sandwiches. So the bacon's going to kind of kick these up a notch. And just like before, I put my butter and then my cheese, and this way I can sandwich my bacon in between here. So you just saw me pull the bacon off of the griddle. So all I'm going to do is put some slices of bacon, which this is just a pound of bacon that I cut in half. I'm just going to put those there in the middle and put that together like that. So it's basically bread, cheese, bacon, cheese, bread. Okay, I'm going to add some butter to the griddle. Now I'll add my sandwiches. And I'll go ahead and close the hood for just a minute or two. So the tool that I found that I think is going to work pretty good for cutting things on the griddle is this rock and roll pizza cutter. The difference between this and most pizza cutters is it's made of plastic. It's got a fairly sharp edge, but it's not going to cut your finger or anything. And I think it relies more on pressure than anything. But I'm thinking this should be able to work pretty good to cut anything on the griddle, and it won't damage the ceramic surface. I found this on Amazon for about $4. Alright, let's check the grilled cheese. I do have the griddle set on 350, so I wasn't too worried about the bread getting too toasted on one side. Yep, those are looking pretty good. So, I'm going to move these out just a little bit. And put some more butter. Instead of using this spatula, let me see if I can use these E-Series tongs to flip these a little better. Or maybe a combination of the spatula and the tongs. There we go, that works pretty good. Make sure I'm getting enough butter on all my bread. Alright, you shut the hood for another minute and a half or so. Okay, let's check the other side of the grilled cheese and see if it's just about ready. Let's see. Yep, I think they're good to go. Before I pull them off, I'm going to try this rock and roll pizza cutter and see if it works the way that I'm hoping it will. Move those out the way. That works pretty good. It's even cutting through the bacon pretty good, so I wasn't sure if it was going to do that. But yeah, I think this might be pretty handy. This one's kind of wonky right here. Yep, there's a stubborn piece of bacon, but it still went through it without too much problem. So these may be something you want to look into to be able to cut on your griddle if you have one of the Blackstone E-Series. I'm also going to try to cut a piece of meat and see how well it does on that also. So here's a look at the grilled cheese with bacon, and not only do they look amazing, they taste amazing. So if you've never tried this, I would definitely encourage you to give it a try. I went ahead and cooked the chicken breast so I can try out and see how well this rock and roll pizza cutter works. This is a very thick chicken breast. Normally I would cut these down just to help them cook a little faster, but I purposely didn't do it on this because I wanted to see how well the cutter was going to work. So let's give it a shot and see if it's going to work. Seems to be working pretty good. Now it is kind of hard to cut this giant chicken breast evenly with this, but as I said, normally I wouldn't be working with such a big piece of meat here. So if you were using a much thinner piece of chicken, you know, you could cut it into strips for fajitas or something like that really easy. So yeah, I'm really liking this so far, and I think it's going to come in handy when I need to cut things on the E-Series. Before I cook the final thing today, and there is a lot more that I want to cook, but I'm really trying to keep these videos from being too long. So I'm not including everything that I want to cook in each video. I'm trying to stagger them out. Let me get some more butter on my griddle, and I'll show you what I'm cooking next. I'm going to be cooking sirloin tips with peppers and onions. Alright, I've got the temperature set on 385. I think I'm going to turn it up to about 4 for this. I'll tell you a little story while this is cooking. We used to have a chain of restaurants called Western Sizzlin', and I don't believe they were related to the Sizzler, but more of a takeoff on the Sizzler name. And we actually used to have quite a few of them where I live. Unfortunately, we don't have any more of them around here. I do know that at least as of last year, they were still around in some places because we were in North Arkansas and we passed by one. And I really wanted to stop and eat, but we were strapped for time and it just wasn't in the schedule. And it was one of the few dine-in, reasonably priced restaurants where I live. We just didn't have that many. And as time went on, more restaurants moved in, and I guess they just couldn't make it here. And we went there fairly frequently. And I would always get the sirloin tips with peppers and onions. You could also get mushrooms on here if you wanted. And I'm very indifferent on mushrooms. I'm not going to go out of my way to put mushrooms, but I'm not going to pick them out either. Actually, the only way that I really like mushrooms is stuffed mushrooms. And I do have a video on my channel where I'm actually stuffing some mushrooms, which absolutely nobody watched. So I'll link that here if you want to watch it. It's a really simple meal. It's easy to make. It's fairly quick. All I do is I take sirloin and basically cut it up into triangles, and I season it with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I really don't like to get too crazy with my steaks. Generally, I prefer to taste the actual meat itself. So I'm going to close the hood on this for just a minute or two and kind of let this steam. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn my meat, and I guess I'll just use my tongs because the camera is sitting in front of the griddle and it's so hard to shift that meat around and not bump the camera. Alright, my meat is turned. Let me try to get these onion and peppers turned a little bit. I don't necessarily have a preferred doneness level for my onions and peppers. Really, as long as they're not too crunchy, I'm good with them. They can be really smothered down a lot or not that much. I probably should have went ahead and put the onions and peppers on first, knowing that they were going to take a little longer. I'll go ahead and close the hood for another minute or so. Alright, it's been about a minute and a half. Let's have a look. And everything's coming along nicely. My sirloin is almost done. I'm going to turn it one more time. Alright, now I'll mix up my onions and peppers and move them around a little bit. Trying to keep them closer to the center of the griddle, just because it's a little hotter right there, without encroaching too much onto my steak. And I know for most of you guys, this would probably be where you would pull them off, or maybe even before, but I am particular about my meat and I do want it to be cooked well. Alright, I'm ready to pull my meat off, and one more time I'll show you the rock and roll pizza cutter. Let me find a bigger piece of meat like this one, and there you go. Salt cuts right through it. So here's my sirloin tips with peppers and onions. They're looking good and they're smelling good. That's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.